Well, next couple of months, looks like there's going to be a lot of travel for people to see family. Rob and Lizz, His Radio, especially when those travel plans don't go the way that they're supposed to go.
It's rough. Nick and Caroline know exactly about that. They were going on their honeymoon, and of course they're finding, everything that they need for the wedding, and they're stressed out and doing this whole thing. But they're getting ready to leave to go international on their honeymoon. So they go to get their passports and put them in their suitcases, put them in their little bags.
They forgot them, huh?
No, they didn't forget them at all. When they got to Caroline's passport, evidently she'd left it maybe down on a table and not up, put away.
Okay.
Her dog got a hold of it.
You mean
chewed it
like
up.
chewed it?
Chewed it up.
Bad?
Chewed it up, yeah. Then it goes on social media, and she's like, okay, how do I fix this? Replacing a passport is not easy.
Well, it's not overnight either.
It's not overnight. You have to go to a passport office. There's not even one in our area. And so what they did, they're from California. Luckily, there was one not that far away. But they found out that the dog did not chew through the worst part that he could have chewed through in the passport.
So she could still use it?
So they were able to go. They did reissue one, but because they went to one of those offices, they were able to do it within like a day or so.
Nice.
But so she does have a nice new one, but
wow.
I mean, the dog was just, he was looking for something to chew up, and he didn't have a bone.
Definitely travel plans didn't go the way they expected.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
Oh, travel. Travel can cause some stress.
Yeah, or it could be some epic adventures that you have, especially since the next couple of months, it's going to be traveling to go see family, right? Maybe some epic road trips that you'll have are in the air. 800-447-7234. Okay, Pam, what about you?
When I was 14, we drove from Indiana to Washington State. We went and saw Old Faithful, did the whole thing, stayed in a cabin, and seeing Mount Rushmore at night with the lights on it, I can still see it. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I felt so small. I just was in awe, just in absolute awe of it. It's one of my best memories of a trip with just me and my parents.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
On His Radio.
So sad. The Post says this, and I'm just reading right off of the feed, okay? Right off the feed. Absolute psychopaths live in my neighborhood. That's the Post. I'm reading it. It says that. Absolute psychopaths live in my neighborhood. I feel so bad. It's Rob and Lizz, His Radio.
Yeah, this is from Angel. And Angel posted this on her feed.
Why are you laughing?
Because
it's sad.
It's sad, but it's really not. Okay, so here's what happened.
What?
She and her husband, she and her family put up their Christmas lights, and somebody, I don't know if it was in their neighborhood, feed, that app that you use.
Oh, they posted this about them.
Or if it was on, yes. Or if it was their social media, but was like talking about their house. So she started getting texts and, I don't know, phone calls and messages to say, one of our neighbors just posted a picture of your house saying it's basically too early to decorate for Christmas. And she said, it's okay. I'm watching Elf right now and chanting. The best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear.
So she's going to sing loud.
Yes.
For all to hear. Hey, listen, I think it's too early, too.
No.
But I'm not going to say that my neighbor's a psychopath for putting up their Christmas lights.
Angel even said, we were just testing them out. We wanted to make sure that they all look good and
So
ready to go.
On. Now turn them on every night.
I think it's fine. I have already gotten my Christmas tree up in my bedroom.
She did.
I put a Christmas comforter on my bed last night. My husband went, you got to be kidding me. He said, this thing is ugly.
I heard of ugly Christmas sweaters, not ugly Christmas comforters.
He just, I don't know. He was not used to it, and he doesn't like change. I think it's never too early.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
On His Radio.
It is Rob and Lizz in the morning, and it's His Radio.
There's a time it's too early. Yeah, to put up the Christmas decorations, there's a time it's too early, maybe a time it's too late, sure. But what about you? Because I don't know if you're noticing in your neighborhood, but in mine, some are already up.
Yeah. I went past a house the other day. It had Christmas decorations. The very next house had fall decorations. And it was like, wait a minute, which season? What
Where
is happening?
Where are we?
Yeah.
Pumpkins and a Christmas tree. All the same thing in the same neighborhood. 800-447-7234. What about you, Bert? You're on His Radio.
I happen to be an interior designer, in Columbia, and it is never too early for Christmas. I have already started doing client houses, and my first one was on Hilton Head Island the end of September.
What was that one like?
It was great. They live on a harbor in Windmill Harbor, and we did 2 trees. It was a 10-foot and a 7-foot. Both mantles, they have a European travel schedule, so they don't get back until the week of Thanksgiving. We wanted it done when they got back. They'll be gone about 8 weeks by the time they get back.
When's your earliest?
September's been my earliest one, and in fact, my house, I have such a heavy clientele. Fortunately, at Christmas, our home is already done. My cutoff for my personal home is the end of October because my first client install is tomorrow, and I am busy all the way through December the 1st. Listen, when December the 26th comes, it's starting to come down because I go to the Christmas market in January to buy for next season, and I have to have Christmas at my house out of my head.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
His radio, Rob and Lizz in the morning. So Chick-fil-A, you probably heard, is getting ready to do something with their employees if they're not already doing it now. It's 13, 14-hour workdays.
Oh, my goodness.
But only 3 days a week. So
Okay.
they get the other, 5 days off?
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 days off, 3 days on.
Wow. That sounds... Honestly, I'd be all about that.
No. Okay, now, I'll tell you why I'm not. Because I used to have a schedule like that when I was a single guy before
Okay.
I did this. And it was miserable.
Those 3 days?
The days dragged on. And it was 4 days for me. It was like 12-hour days.
Okay.
But the days just seemed like they were forever.
But see, that's a nurse's schedule or a doctor's. Actually, doctors are on longer.
I feel for them because those are really long days. And yeah, but here's the other thing. It's not like it wasn't 4 days off in a row.
Okay.
It was like you work a day, you'll get a day off, maybe 2 days in a row, you get the other days. So it was sporadic. It wasn't like a set schedule.
Okay, that does sound miserable.
It was miserable.
But I mean, if you can knock out 3 days and boom, 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 and then you're off for 4, hello.
Scott says he's all into this.
Yeah. I would be thinking, okay, I'm going to be off 4 days in a row. I think I can handle 3 days. But I do see how it could drag a little bit.
A 15-hour day? I mean,
Yeah.
what is it, 13, 14-hour day?
14 hours.
That is a long day.
It is a long, long day, but I would just be thinking, but you get 4 days off. And I think the first
Right.
of the 4 days, you're just sitting at home, with your feet in Epsom salt or something like that, just trying to recover. But then you've got 3 days completely free to spend with your family.
My oldest have days like that because he's a police officer.
Oh, yeah.
And so he has those really super long days, and he is beat when he gets home.
Right. But does he have like 3 to 4 days off?
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's kind of sporadic.
Well,
It's the same thing that I used to have. It was like a day here, a day there. It's not all in a row.
I
If it was all in a row, then maybe.
wasn't like that. One of my sons works for Chick-fil-A.
Yeah?
I
How long of a
wonder
day?
I wonder, they're not there yet. I haven't heard any talk of this locally, but I think he would be down for it. I really do.
Scott's into it. I don't know how he's going to do news every day if he wants that kind of a schedule.
Rob and Liz in the morning.
On His radio.
Here's this guy who picks up trash. The dumpsters that come to a business and gets the whole, what do you call that? I guess a dumpster?
Dumpster, yeah.
So you've got a dumpster truck that picks up the whole dumpster and puts it in. So this guy, I don't know what was going on, but he did not bring the dumpster back down. So you know how it hauls the dumpster up and then it empties it and then puts it back down? Well, it never came back down. So the guy drives away, hits power lines, knocks down the pole because the power line got stuck on the dumpster that was way up in the air. And then there's a whole city block that doesn't have electricity. And then they had to shut down the whole road until they actually fixed the power line and the pole.
I'm sure it was a mistake, but some mistakes are bigger than others.
Well, a couple of things. For some reason, I don't think he knew that it didn't come back down.
Well, but
I know. And I'm wondering if he was distracted by something.
maybe, possibly. I would think there would be a sensor. We used to drive these vans that had like a tower on the top of the van.
She's talking about radio stuff,
yes. And if you didn't bring it all the way down and you tried to drive off, it would be like, and make this horrible sound. So I'm.
That was a horrible
It was.
sound for sure.
Rob and Lizz in the morning.
On his radio.
Outside of planet Earth, name 3 other planets.
Venus, Neptune, Mars.
Okay, Scott, name 3 planets outside of the planet Earth.
Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus.
Okay, you're leaving out a planet. Completely leaving out a planet.
Okay.
Okay, and you're familiar with it, I'm sure. It's TOI 3757b.
Tip of my tongue.
Oh, yeah.
TOI 3757b. It's a new planet they just discovered.
Awesome.
It's not in our universe. It's about, well, a solar system? Universe? Solar system. It's not in our it is in our universe. Hello. But it's like 580 light years from Earth. And they say the density of this is like a marshmallow.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
It's a marshmallow planet. And it's around some red dwarf star.
Okay, so Earth has the most density of our solar system. Saturn has the least because it's hydrogen and helium. So,
Wow. She remembered all that from school.
Oh.
or from the internet 10 minutes ago, but okay. But yeah, so it's even more less dense than that. So it's squishy. So if you were to jump on it, you would bounce around a lot.
I have no idea.
Because
I've never jumped on a marshmallow, but something tells me if I stepped on one, I'd squish it.
it depends on if it's the mini or not.
Yeah. And
You know what we need?
What's that?
We need like a graham cracker chocolate planet to float around nearby.
Oh,
On either
and
side
then
of
maybe
it,
a nice small sun to toast it
as
gently.
the fire pit.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe char it just a little bit on one side.
remember, this is a planet. You're not going to be able to fit that in your mouth.
Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
If you send out the text about Thanksgiving, you may find that maybe the older people that you're inviting are really skippy on it and saying, okay, I'm going to bring the pie. But the younger generation may be like, oh, okay, a little lackluster. Because they're more into Friendsgiving than they are Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving with the family.
Thanksgiving with the family.
Why?
Because I guess there is a certain amount of drama that comes with family getting together. Sometimes.
That's
not all
family.
family. You know, that's exactly what I was going
There's
to
a
say.
little dysfunction everywhere.
But you know, also, you can be your true self in front of family that you don't necessarily always show, especially to people that you don't know that well that might be coming to a Friendsgiving, that kind of thing. So maybe people are more on their better behavior.
That sounds tiring.
It does, doesn't it?
I'm sorry. It does, yeah.
And hopefully you do have those good friends, you know, because I've got several really close friends that they're going to get me the same no matter what. It's not going to be best foot forward all the time.
Good
It's
for
just-
you.
Well, I mean, I think most of us do have those really good friends, at least one where you can be yourself. But 18 to 38 years old, which is, I guess, Gen Z and what's the next? Oh, millennial. Really look forward to a Friendsgiving more than a Thanksgiving.
Okay. Even though it's tiring, I guess I can see that.
Yeah, but you know what? To me, it's just another day to have another turkey.
Do they have turkey?
They have turkey. Or
See, I've never been invited to a Friendsgiving unless it's what Mama Liz puts together for people here.
right, and we do non-traditional here.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of the Friendsgivings that happen are possibly because there's not really family in town.
She has us all bringing dishes and stuff.
Oh yeah, what are you bringing?
What'd my wife say? A butt cake.
Excuse me.
A butt cake. That's what it's called, isn't it?
Bunt. There's a D in there.
Oh.
An N and a D. Bunt.
I thought that was kind of interesting to call a cake.
a little bit.
Okay, I stand corrected.
Rob and Lizz in the morning.
On his radio.
So Bonnie wants to chime in. Well, let me back up. So Liz has put together a Friendsgiving for a bunch of us.
Yeah.
And so we're all supposed to bring something. My wife said, I know exactly what you're going to bring. So I emailed back and said what I was going to bring. And Liz was like, what?
Well, I've never heard of that
Yeah.
in the world.
But anyway, so here's Bonnie. She wants to chime in about what I'm bringing to Friendsgiving at 800-447-7234. Hey, Bonnie.
I'm sitting here at Burger King and you come on. and instead of buns, you say, yeah, the other word.
I honestly thought, for years, I thought it was butt cake. And then Amy said to the Friendsgiving that Liz put together, bring a butt cake. And I'm like, okay.
You don't even question it?
No, because that's what I thought it was. I didn't know it was bunt.
Oh, you guys make my morning. You just make me laugh so hard.
Oh.
Thank you so much. I need this.
Rob and Liz in the morning.
On his radio.
So if you've been listening for the past several weeks, you probably caught word about our share-a-thon and how we had some mishaps with a couple of technical things, including the text line that we had no control over because we used a third party for that. And so what wound up happening was we were ghosting everybody and couldn't reply back.
It was heartbreaking.
Anything. Yeah. It's like, no, we love you. We see you. We can't say anything. And then it disappeared completely. We're like, now we can't see anything. Mm-hmm. We can't even call people if we wanted to.
No,
Can't
it was
see a thing.
completely gone. But know that was a third party that we were working with. And thankfully, the issues have been worked out.
Finally. So now that we have all that worked out, all the technical stuff behind the scenes that had nothing to do with the performance of what you hear on the air, it was all behind the scenes stuff. And it affected the way that we could serve you. And it's important that we're able to share the hope of Jesus with every person that contacts his radio. So now it's up, it's working, it's tested, it's true. We had a small blip last week, and then we're like, okay, it's back.
Yeah, well, you got to work out the kinks. Anything new, you got to work out the kinks, right? And they have been worked out, and we're plugging along, and so we're very, very excited about this.
The postponed share-a-thon now has a scheduled date, and it's Tuesday, December 6th. And if you don't know what a share-a-thon is, it's how we raise the operational budget because we're a nonprofit. We're a listener-supported outreach here.
Right, and so that is where you can help share that hope, that encouragement, only found in Jesus with others and countless others. I mean, these texts that we get, that you send, honestly, we can get from around the world. People that listen to the app can listen around the world, and you make that possible.
Well, it's sharing the hope of Jesus with others, right? So here's the thing. With that setback, there's been a setback with share-a-thon and budgeting and all that other stuff. So it's very, very important. And here's the thing. People are believing and giving a jumpstart gift starting today. Now that they know, okay, there's a date that's already set, and it's during the Christmas season. Starts December the 6th. It's a Tuesday, by the way, a 4-day event, biggest share-a-thon goal ever. So you can give your jumpstart gift today. I'm praying many do that for a big jumpstart.
Yeah, and it's so easy to do. You can text the word GIVE to 800-447-7234. That's the word GIVE. Or you can jump online, hisradio.com.